Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A decision has been made on the release of all of IPI's tax information. Also tonight, DPS is asking the public's help in finding an individual involved in thefts. And big waves do big damage at a popular beachfront. In sports, Have Jim will play. Tinian and the Old Aces put on a lively display. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
The phone you want now on the best network and a plan that gives you endless data on chat, social, and music apps. Tell your Docomo Pacific rep you want now with access. Docomo Pacific, better together. Some conditions apply.
Jose and Pedro were born on the very same day. Jose liked to play sports. Pedro liked to play video games. Jose's favorite word was pass. Pass me the ball. Pedro's favorite word was pass too. Pass me the rice. Jose is retired and has both time and energy. His life is just beginning. Pedro has diabetes, hypertension, and gout. His life could soon end. Eat less, play more, live longer. Brought to you by PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
Hafa Day, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Wednesday, August 7th, 2019. Breaking news, Chief Judge Ramona Manglonia has denied the petition for a preliminary injunction on the release of all of Imperial Pacific International's tax information. In the court case, Imperial Pacific International versus Commonwealth Casino Commission, IPI states certain parts of their tax information dating 2015 to 2018 should be kept confidential, but is willing to release certain parts of their monthly statements. While CCC states it is the law for them to release all of IPI's tax information as presented in the Public Law 19-24, and today brings forth a win for the Casino Commission as all of IPI's tax information is now available for the public viewing.
I believe that this is a huge victory for the people and that transparency and accountability win today. My Open Government Act request goes through, and that if the people would like to go to the Commonwealth Casino Commission and request for this information without it being redacted or crossed out, they can now do that.
It all goes back to June 13th, 2019, when CNMI House of Representatives Ed Probst filed an Open Government Act requesting to allow all of what IPI is protecting to be open to the public, including audit reports, business gross revenue tax, and all corporate income taxes paid by IPI. IPI then filed for a temporary restraining order on the release of their tax information, which was granted in June by Associate Judge Kenneth Govindo, and was extended to give the judge more time to make a final decision on the issue of the preliminary injunction. IPI redacted certain parts of their monthly statements, and the Attorney General then filed for the removal of the TRO with the District Court.
They want to be treated like a regular taxpayer. They compare themselves to any other business, large or small. But I've always said that they are not like any other business. The reason why is that they are a monopoly. There's only one casino license, and that's the IPI. And so this information that we asked for was agreed upon by them by never going against Public Law 1924.
But the cat was already out of the bag, as most would say, because Probst states the legislature had a copy of all of the tax information prior to the redaction in the temporary restraining order. You've seen the unredacted tax statements. Do you think IPI has something to hide?
I believe that IPI believed that they shouldn't have to release this information. They believed that it was confidential. But again, I, as a lawmaker, simply looked at our Open Government Act request and that I was well within my rights, not just as a representative of the people, but as a citizen, as a taxpayer, as a regular person of the Commonwealth. Anybody should have been able to ask for this because it wasn't confidential, because CNMI Public Law 1924 made it very clear that the information that I requested for was fair game and that they should have released it. In fact, they had released information in the past and they didn't say anything about it. But suddenly, this Open Government Act request was a problem for them. And I can't understand why. So the only thing I could conclude was that perhaps they had something that they didn't want released.
And that something of the casino licensee's information was the financial parts that are owed, according to Probst, and is what IPI redacted to keep from the public's view.
So I went through it, and the information that I received, which basically talked about several things that we had questions about. One being the Community Benefit Fund. We found out that they owe, $20 million in the Community Benefit Fund, but only $3 million was accounted for it. So we were wondering what happened to the other $17 million. That's in the Ernst & Young audit report. We also were wondering about their business gross revenue taxes, how much they actually paid forth. We were told, without this Open Government Act request, we did find out that they so far for this last fiscal year, they only paid about $41,000, which is a lot less than what they normally pay out, which is in the tune of $50 to $55 million a year. So there's huge, there's a lot of money that was in question. We also found out through this Ernst & Young audit report that the corporate income taxes, that they owed about $33 million. And according to this audit report, they also owed to local vendors, about $35 million. So we wanted updates. We wanted to know where they were with regard to the payments and everything else.
KSPN reached out to IPI for information on what they plan to do next and received a response stating, quote, "We are currently reviewing the court's order and discussing with our client what options IPI prefers to pursue," end quote. And one of those options IPI now has is to take it to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell. The Department of Public Safety is asking for your help in locating a 43-year-old male wanted for questioning in reference to a couple of thefts. DPS is on the search for Juan Tidinco, aka John, who is believed to be frequent at the village of Culberville and other villages in the southern part of the island. Officials say Tidinco is believed to operate with a maroon 2012 Toyota Tacoma, a white 2008 Toyota Camry, or a brown 2013 Mazda 3. If you have come in contact or have any information as to his whereabouts, contact the Criminal Bureau of Investigation at 664-9042, or to remain anonymous, call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272. And the Department of Public Safety is also seeking your help in locating who may be involved in a burglary and theft that occurred on Capitol Hill. According to a release, the CNMI Department of Public Safety were called to Docomo cell site on Capitol Hill, where two Docomo employees showed the officers that the main door into the cell phone antenna site had appeared to be forced open. The employees reported to police that one black and red colored 7,500 kilowatt Briggs & Stratton branded generator and 8 12-volt red and white colored North Star branded batteries had been stolen from the small storage room. Officers learned that earlier that morning, a security company in Guam received the alert of the activated door alarm at the cell site, where representatives were informed. If you have any information related to the burglary and theft at the Docomo cell phone site on Capitol Hill, call 911 Or if you wish to remain anonymous, call the City Mind Crime Stoppers at 234-7272. In court, a motion is denied for a 41-year-old male that has 3 counts involving sexual abuse to a 14-year-old minor. According to court documents, Benjamin Mafnas Hattori has count 1 of sexual abuse of a minor in the 2nd degree, count 2 of violation of sex offender registry, and count 3 of domestic violence disturbing the peace. The defense counsel accepted October 21st at the trial setting, as other months and dates did not accommodate the defendant or the court. The defendant filed a motion regarding speedy trial issues, and today in court, Associate Judge Teresa Kim Tenorio denied the motion to dismiss for violation of his right to a speedy trial. The jury trial is still scheduled for October 21st, 2019. A strong western swell associated with Tropical Storm Crosa left behind its mark on Saipan. Bob Coldine reports.
Last weekend, families flocked to Micro Beach to play in the sand and the sea underneath coconut trees. Not trees now, it's a tree. There's only one that's left standing in a row that had grown since this beach was washed out several years ago. The last tree standing. Not all the trees are down. One tree's up where it's always been. It's on the roof. Where do trees grow? Well, naturally, yeah, trees grow in the ground, right? Well, not always. The pavilion survived better than the coconut trees, but a threat lurks only a few feet away. As you can see, this pavilion is being protected by a natural barrier of rocks and vegetation, but as the water comes up, you can see how close it is to the edge. Not only was the pavilion built in a spot that was considered safe and away from the sea. When they built this sidewalk years ago, they had a good vision. The boardwalk, next to the beach and everything. But there is one thing in that vision that they did not foresee, and it's that the beach would eventually overcome. This beach undergoes constant change, both overnight and over the decades. You can see where the ocean level is today. It hasn't always been that way. There's a 1936 U.S. Navy surveillance military photo that shows the water going all the way up to where the restroom is today. And back in the 70s, there was a sandbar that extended out there more than 100 feet, but it's gone away. Perhaps over in time that sandbar will reappear. Who knows? Well, only time will tell. The Hyatt tennis courts are also under threat from the high water. The Hyatt tennis court is it's not moving, but still it's getting closer and closer to the water. And it's one of the few places in the world probably where you can play tennis, work out a good sweat up, and then walk a few feet and jump into the water and go swimming. Micro Beach is a microcosm of environmental change. In a battle between man and Mother Nature wins again. This beach pathway, as you can see, covered by sand. At one time, it went all the way through and around the park, and the beach was way over on the other side, but not today. This is an example of our changing world.
Thank you, Bob. And speaking on the waters, it has been reported by the Homeland Security and Emergency Operations Center that flash flood watch will remain in effect through tonight. According to a release, locally heavy showers is causing the flash flood watch to continue for Guam, Rota, Tinian, and Saipan. The heavy showers are associated with the southwest monsoon winds that create the flooding and can lead to a very dangerous situation. Flash flooding can become life-threatening. Remember, turn around, don't drown, and be prepared to take action if flash warnings are issued. Coming up, we hear what tourists have to say about visiting our island. Find out more after the break.
Get
the phone plan you're looking for at IT&E. Stay connected with the strongest, widest, and most reliable network in the Marianas. Stream, share, play, shop, and surf the web with super fast 4G LTE data. Whether you need just a few gigabytes of data to get by, or if you want to go further with unlimited data, there's a plan for you. You'll always get the best price. Visit any IT&E store or call us to learn more. IT&E. Explore your world.
All workers have the right to a safe workplace. Employers must provide a workplace that is free from recognized hazards and comply with applicable OSHA standards, including proper reporting of injuries. Training needs to be done in a language and vocabulary employees can understand, and an OSHA information poster must be displayed prominently in the workplace. Workers, you have the right to raise a safety or health concern with your employer or OSHA without being retaliated against, and request an OSHA consultation of your workplace if you believe there are unsafe or unhealthy conditions. OSHA can help. Free assistance to identify and correct hazards is available to small and medium-sized employers without citation or penalty. So look out, speak up, and stay safe. Job safety and health, it's not only good practice, it's the law. Check out OSHA.gov or call 664-3154 or 3155.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Our Chris Nelson takes us up to the I Love Saipan store to hear what tourists are saying on social media about the island of Saipan. Take a listen.
Alex, you're savvy on social media, and I know that you not only use it, but you also produce content for it, and you also monitor what people are saying. What is it that the tourists are saying about us in a positive sense, and also what do they say about us that we need to fix?
What I see on the social media is the natural environment that we have is really a plus point, but I see a lot of tourists complaining about the airport facility. When they arrive Saipan, it takes too long, and many times the air condition is not working, and those things are, and some information I got from social media is it's hard to find a restroom on the northern side of the island when they during the tour.
So those are some things. What else do you think? What are our biggest challenges as a destination for tourists, but also as a good place to live? What do you think we can do better?
I think the keeping our beaches clean is really important. If you just walk to the beaches around, you see so much trashes, and the beaches are not properly maintained. And tourism is our, the only and number one business. So I think the private and government should pay more attention to cleaning up the beaches.
On Guam, the 2020 budget bill has some citizens concerned. KUAM's Adriana Cotero has a story.
Half a day CNMI, here's what's making news on Guam. If Tuesday's hearing on the fiscal year 2020 budget bill is any indication, you can expect some very robust debate over executive branch spending needs at this month's legislative session. Senators heard numerous complaints from the agency heads about getting shorted on their allocations, which usually means their respective oversight chairs will take their fight to the floor. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The budget bill that will hit the floor this month identifies $803 million in general fund revenue, and when you add special funds and federal matching grants, it comes in at just under $1 billion, $945 million to be exact. But several agency heads testified that their particular budgets came up short, as did Budget Director Lester Carlson.
While a majority of the sitting members of the 35th Guam Legislature campaigned with the Leon Guerrero and Tenorio team and surely advocated improving health, safety, and education needs, Bill 186 in its current form does not adequately fund these needs.
The executive budget request projects several $1 million more in revenue to cover the additional spending needs. But taking the opposing view was Ken Leon Guerrero of Citizens for Public Accountability.
Because all of you campaigned with the promise that you were going to streamline the government, you were going to put in a sense of financial responsibility and accountability, but we're not seeing that. And the budget that's laying on this table right now before you is proof of that. Instead of taking a cautious approach like we citizens are forced to do, we don't see any effort whatsoever to rein in government spending. I mean, even the speaker came up here and asked for more money.
Who gets what and how much will all be decided when the legislature meets later this month for one of its primary functions, to pass a budget. One thing appears certain, though, the 25% increase in the business privilege tax passed during last year's budget session, it will remain intact.
BBMR cannot stress enough how strongly we feel that the retention of the 5% rate is critical to our economy and our ability to continue to provide the governmental services our people depend upon every day.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor LeConte.
Stay connected via our KUAM mobile news app. Follow us on any of the social media platforms and sign up for our weekly email newsletter, KUAM Digital Digest, on KUAM.com. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Thank you, Adriana. All right, coming up, the K-Ville Gym heats up on a rainy day. Yeah, we got rainy day sports next.
Welcome to Marianas Medical Center. We've been taking care of you and your family since 1998. We offer preventive health care services, acute and chronic care for both adults and children.
微产期以及妇科的检查.
신생아 선별 검사 및 영유아 건강 검진.
Meron po kaming food handlers, green cards, school at sports clearances.
Greenig Marianas Medical Center ma-offer todo klaseng serbisyo para hinamli pamilya mismo siya.
We accept Medicaid, Medicare, and most private insurance plans, and we also accept individuals without any medical insurance. We're conveniently located in the JKR building on Beach Road, Garapan. Marianas Medical Center, quality health care for your entire family.
Visit American Memorial Park, one of Saipan's leading visitor attractions. Open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The visitor center is located in Garapan, just a short walk from most hotels. This U.S. National Park honors the American and Marianas people who lost their lives in World War II during the Marianas campaign. Entrance is free. Take time to view the main film, to learn about the Battle of Saipan, and walk through the extensive and fascinating museum exhibits. Don't forget to stop by the museum gift shop, which offers unique and exclusive merchandise. All proceeds are donated to the park's education program. Come discover the American Memorial Park.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, in Korea this afternoon at the East Asian Football Federation Festival, the NMI girls U15 team fell to Hong Kong 2-0. Hong Kong wins Group B. Hot, lively basketball game Saturday afternoon. Tinian Typhoons needed to bring their A game against the Old Aces. Fortunately for them, it fit on Star Marianas. was a dark and stormy afternoon. Who cares? Kobe Santos find that 10 Iverson down court for the streak and then lay down for the old Aces. Greg Santos with the leaping laner for the Tinian Typhoon. Kobe Santos, the baseline drive, the pull-up. Put that in your scorebook. Kobe to Aten, and we have a connection. Yes, it's okay to clap now. Bobby Regis, the drive while the defense was taking a nap. Yeah, it was that kind of day to sleep in, but hey, there's no beds in the Cobleville gym. Just hard concrete and better to drive in. Just ask Bobby Regis about that. Aten tries the down court heave. Tyler Santos deflects the ball right to Leo Epiti. Oh, the right spot for the right guy. Time for the old Aces to huddle up and regroup. This was a good time to text your friends. Tell them to get down here. Bobby sees an opening in the middle, and the ball drops in like raindrops in Cobleville. Leo, the raindrop shot. Regis, the kick out to Edwin Borhop. 3 for the price of 2. Santos says, I call that. And raise you 3. All right, 2 questions. Who will stop the rain and who will stop Bobby Regis? Well, they only stop themselves. The sky's their limit. Santos, though, he has him blocked this time, but Tyler Santos able to corral the ball and sink it for the Tinian Typhoons. Top Play of the Week nominee, Tyler DeLeo for the reverse. Tinian tops the old Aces 48-44.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Get your game and gear at Gold's Gym Saipan. Group exercise is a great way to get fit and then stay fit. For something high tempo, go for a ride with one of our instructors in our new spin room. Let's roll. Pilates improves flexibility, builds strength, and develops control and endurance in the whole human body. It also improves coordination and balance. And the Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplement. See you at Gold's Gym.
Today's high only 84, the low 73, heat index 94, humidity 79%. Oh, by the way, that tropical storm Kosha way north of us going towards Iwo Jima. Tomorrow, you expect scattered showers, southwest winds 10 to 20 miles an hour, high around 88, low 79. High surf advisory is in effect. Seas are very rough out there, 10 to 13 feet. I saw some people on kayaks, tourists on kayaks in the lagoon this afternoon, and they were struggling. Sunrise at 6:01, a low tide at 8:03 in the morning, a high tide at 2:25, sunset at 6:44.
Thank you, Bob, for that weather report. And I also saw those kayakers.
You saw that kayakers?
Yeah, they're all
they're out in the lagoon.
Together.
Yeah, there's like about
Hanging
40 or 30 kayaks and 2 people. And I think what happened was they went north with the current when they left, which was easy and lots of fun. But then to get back, they had to go against the current, and that current is really, there's a riptide alert. You know, got to be watch out. Very strong currents from that storm, and they had some of the people didn't make it and had to be towed in.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw them trying to fight it. Even if they were pedaling, it still paddling through. It still didn't look like they were moving much.
What's the difference between work and exercise? Because I would call it
that
work.
Was like work for sure. I agree. So yeah, safety first and fun. That didn't seem too fun.
Fun second. Safety first, fun second.
Yeah, right.
Everything else is after that.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your night. Tune in tomorrow night at 6.
Good night.